Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this week 1 Rung 2 match for this Lego the Hobbit restricted any percent tournament. This is our very first main bracket match that we have between three very talented runners that have come through. And yeah, this should be a very interesting race. Joining us on comms today we have Dedra.
Hello, I'm also here together with Paxo, my co-commentator, and we'll be commentating this pretty exciting match, I'd say, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the runners now are going to get to the point where they can skip the cutscene. If they will go to that now, then that'll be good, and then we'll get started with this match. So the way this works is this match will consist of 3 individual races, and in each race, the winner of each race will win 3 points. Second place in each race will win 1 point, and then third place will obviously not get any points. And at the end, the person with the most points is first. Obviously, second most points is second, and then third is, unfortunately, losing this match. Looks like all the runners are in a position to be ready. So, Dedra, do you want to do the countdown?
Sure. Runners ready? We will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, we'll have a bit of a pause just with delay, but this should be going very soon.
Dear Frodo, you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about
my liege.
Okay, and we're off. Looks like Lazer has a bit of a head start here, and Jack will be a little bit further behind, but that's absolutely fine.
built deep within the mountain itself. The beauty
As we go into this first room, do you want to explain how this works, Dedra?
This exact room is just destroying a few rocks or also torches with the fire. So we can build this block to push to the side, which only one of these characters can do. So the goal is just to destroy all of those blocks, which is a bit finicky because you always have to jump cancel the last attack animation, so you can start going for the next block faster.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we see them coming down these stairs now. They're going to be looking at basically trying to take the most optimal line possible kind of in this room, before then heading into our first big trick of the run in the next room, which is known as Gem Skip. And I think we'll probably see it first on Lazer's screen. What Lazer will be trying to do is jump and drop out. So jump dive and drop out with Thorin here to be able to bypass a camera pan trigger, which closes the doors at the far end of the room. And the timing for that is relatively precise, but they've had a decent amount of practice. We'll see both Lazer and Mega go for it here. And it looks like both of them got it, which is always a good sign. Jack as well will be going for it. And gets it as well, so very nice. 3 for 3 on Gem Skip is always a good sign.
Yeah, missing that skip would be absolutely fatal. I mean, in this race it will probably be just coming last, because missing it loses like, I think, over minutes and something. So I think even resetting would almost be faster, but since we don't do resetting in this race, you would just lose so much time that it kinda isn't worth playing anymore. I mean, yes it is, but you don't really have chances of winning or getting second anymore, because these runners really have gotten their consistency down to a point where that wouldn't be an issue for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think with the kind of PBs we've seen from Lazer and Mega and Jack, all of which are now sub 25 runners, once you get to that point, you know, losing a minute and a half or something to a missed Gem Skip would be not fully GG's, but you'd have to be waiting for someone else to make a mistake, and that's never a good situation to be in. We see them now doing a bit of mining before we go into our next big skip as well, which is known as barrier skip. And we'll see that from, looks like Lazer first again, but what Lazer's got to do is time a jump with player 2, because player 2 gets early movement here. Time a jump over some collision that's kind of forming around the player as they're moving. So we see Lazer plays it quite safe there, does 2 single jumps, and is able to make it over, and that skips basically the entire room. We'll see Mega go for it now as well. Seem to risk it a little bit more with not pausing as much before, or not stopping as much before jumping over the barrier, but it worked out well enough, and I think I missed it, but Jack got it as well. So, close race so far.
Yeah, we are not really expecting any huge deviations of the times here in GKME. Of course, like some runners, including me, have about a 30-second deficit on their goals to someone compared to Hamster. But this level, really, you play it that often that you have it down to a level which corresponds to your PB, really.
Yeah, and we see another trick that they'll be going for in this room that neither of the runners went through in the last race is gold room jumps. So what Lazer's doing here, and we'll see the same with the other two, is buffer jumping across this kind of what is meant to be a full death plane. And then by buffer jumping across it, you have to drop your input when landing. But if you're able to do that successfully, you're able to just move along this invisible collision. Oh, sorry, this death plane kind of collision. We've seen Lazer gets it cleanly, and Jack gets it decently well as well, which allows him to overtake Mega. Looks like Mega was struggling a little bit to get a vertical body up, which is one thing you need for this trick. And then also struggled a little bit in getting the jumps themselves. So Lazer will probably be, I want to say, maybe a 10-second lead over Jack here. The 5:36 Greatest Kingdom is pretty good. I'm not sure what Lazer's gold is, but I think it's around a low 5:20. So pretty consistent GKME. Jack coming in with a 5:51 as well. Not too bad before we head over to Bush Launch.
And Mega finishing out with a 6:02, which definitely loses quite some time over especially Lazer, like 26 seconds it is here. That's quite a lot, but still everything can happen this run, especially the launches in the late game, which can still ruin someone's pace, definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the main question mark over the early game is getting it safe and consistent. And we'll see both Lazer and Jack have managed to deal with Bush Launch well. Jack will be going for hovers across the river as well. And Mega as well gets Bush Launch safe. That's another kind of potentially risky milestone crossed, and then we have this kind of traversal across, basically entirely out of bounds in the overworld. To explain how the route works from this game, we start off completing the first level because that's what gives us access to the overworld. But then in the overworld, the game has, it doesn't have the doors for the start of each level available to them. So it doesn't have, for example, your intro to, I don't know, level 5 or something. It doesn't have that active on the overworld. But this was one of the first games to allow you to come back in free play with mid-level room loading. So, for example, room 2s or room 3s, you're able to access them. And they didn't deactivate them on the overworld, which means we're heading over now to hit the door for the very last room of level 13. So skipping 11.5 levels by doing so. And we'll see Lazer have a crack at it first. Lazer has got to get over to the other side of the river. You see the bridge in the distance. Lazer's going to cross over to that by doing what's known as sign launch. And we'll see that here. Running against a very specific bit of collision here. Lazer should be able to get a launch. Looks like he's struggling with it a bit, and the camera angle looks a little bit messed up, which will make the air movement more difficult for him. And yeah, he misses. So this opens the door for Mega to catch back up, and Jack, who are both very close. Jack is not going for the launch, interestingly, just going for the hovers. Lazer struggling again. And Mega going for the hovers as well. So two of them decide to play it safe. Lazer went for the launch, and it looks to have backfired. Means Jack will take the lead going into LFP.
Yeah, this is a huge deficit that Lazer's building up. He misses it again, which is now, I think, 4 or 5 misses. And this one also doesn't make it. So he will definitely be lost after looking for proof this next split. But we'll see him now hit the trigger for the third room, as Paxo explained. And he seems to not get it, but on the third try it does work.
So now Jack takes the lead with just over a 9-minute looking for proof. That's not too bad. I think these runners will tend to aim for anything probably sub 9 is a good run for them. Mega with 9:22, and Lazer's going to be a bit further behind. But yeah, we'll keep it going for the moment as we head into the Necromancer. This is, again, pretty intense part of the run. There is a big one-try trick we have coming up, which is known as Birdless. And this could, again, dictate a lot of the potential kind of order going into the later levels. We'll see Jack's going to be the first one to hit it. As long as he can hit this. And like, yeah, there we go. And what you've got to do is, skipping this next room, you've got to set up a launch to get behind it, but the launch itself is a little bit weird. Basically, you're trying to get Gandalf into a spot where he's stuck in a jump dive. And what the game does is it keeps on increasing and increasing your vertical speed downwards. And then eventually it'll increase it enough so that you hit the floor and effectively reflect back upwards. And that reflection back upwards is what causes a launch. And then that launch will allow allow you to get over the door. Jack has set it up, and you've now got to wait a certain amount of time for the vertical speed to build up. Jack's choosing to take that downtime to heal one of the birds, which does lose a bit of time, but it means if he misses it, the backup is a little bit easier, or a little bit less time consuming. Jack goes for it here, gets more than enough height, and gets through. Mega also gets the same. And Lazer gets it as well, very nice. Okay, so we go through into this room. We're going to have a boss fight at the end of this room. Bit of 1p2c before the boss fight, which it looks like all of the runners have managed to handle pretty well. And it feels like the gap's kind of closed up a bit. Lazer was 40 seconds behind out of LFP, but it looks like it's got a bit closer.
Yeah, that of course, we saw Jack healing the first bird, because if he was to miss the launch on the ruin piece, he would have had to go for the bird skip, which is quite a bit harder, but... Oh yeah, right, it's also one try, I forgot. So if you also don't get that one, it's like very bad, because you have to heal the second bird and build 3 statues, which is so time consuming. Just like gem skip, basically, you don't have any chance to get any points in the race.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do have a little bit of downtime here, I guess. They've got a kind of boss fight coming after this. And yeah, it takes a little bit of time. There's one important thing to note here, and that is that all the runners will be trying to end this level with 0 studs on both players. 0 studs is quite a common thing across LEGO games, where ending a level with no studs collected tends to be that bit faster. But unlike what's normal with most LEGO games, is normally it only pertains to the very first level. In this game it pertains to every level, and you save about 3 or 4 seconds each level by having 0 studs on both players. Which means we do set it up in levels 2, 3 and 4 to try and save that little bit of time. We'll see that after this first phase, where once the statues are built and destroyed, there'll be a spot where both players can, or both characters can, fall down and lose 1,000 studs each time they fall down. So that's kind of what keeps runners occupied during what otherwise is this very long and scripted boss fight. And then, yeah, while we do have this downtime, we can also look at where each runner is with their PBs right now, because it's quite close at the moment. Lazer is definitely far ahead at the moment with a 23:32 PB. Oh, actually 23:27 PB, which was achieved just last night, which was a very quick time from Lazer. Jack has also PB'd as well last night, I believe, getting down to a 24:41, I think, off the top of my head. Meanwhile, Mega hasn't PB'd as of late, but is still with a PB of 24:48, so it's very close in PBs between Jack and Mega. Lazer is a bit up the road at the moment, so is probably the favourite for this match, but anything can happen with the kind of trick gauntlet that the later parts of this run is.
Okay, so we can see now basically all 3 runners getting into the 3rd and final phase. The first one will, I think, be... no, it will be Jack. Yeah. Lazer has just sorted his 3rd phase. And the idea in this room is basically to always destroy that blue block and then start building the statue as soon as possible, so you lose the least amount of time. And now we can see Jack has collected a few studs on player 2, but he can now die, so he can lose all the studs. And now he has 0 studs and ends the level with a bit of time save in the status screen.
Yeah, Jack ends with a 16:08 right now, but then immediately goes into one of the big tricks in this run, which is icicle launch. And this can be brutal, but Jack manages to get it first try. You just launch up onto this bit of collision. This technically doesn't sequence break anything, but what it very successfully does is allows you to navigate it's quite a long winding route to take this if you're trying to do this the intended way to get through to this next level, which is on the doorstep. Jack's able to reach it a lot quicker this way, and in fact Mega and Lazer managed the same. Lazer getting a bit stuck, but that's okay. Jack is now, and Mega, trying to do what's known as fast OTD, or fast on the doorstep. And it looks like with that, Mega will have just taken the lead. Yeah, this is a very precise launch. And it looks like Lazer will be overtaking. Not quite, didn't get the height. But yeah, this is a very precise launch where you're having to rely on kind of player positioning and all that kind of thing to be able to make it through to the other side. We see, yeah, Mega's been able to pull out a lead from it. Lazer's still struggling at the moment. But then Lazer... well, Mega and Lazer actually, or Mega and Jack, sorry, catch back up while trying to go for statue launch, which is another launch you can get here, which skips about 10 seconds worth of gameplay in collision. And we'll see here, Mega has taken the lead both on our screens and also LRT. And then we'll be going for a different version of this launch, which was a relatively new find from Mega, to be able to get up to this top bit without having to go, I think you're supposed to go round to the left or something. But yeah, that was very cleanly done from Mega. The one thing I noticed was not getting 0 studs, which Jack will be able to get. So that'll be about 4 seconds in Jack's favor, but I think Mega will still have the lead.
Yeah, by quite a lot actually. Mega ending with an 18-14 compared to Jack's 18-43, which is almost a 30-second deficit for Jack. But we know that in II a lot can happen. The last level here, Inside Information, is full of launches and little tricks. I think we won't see one of the hardest tricks in the run, which is Toast Slide. Maybe we'll see it from like Lazer, who is in a deficit by 45 seconds to Mega. So if he wants the full 3 points, he will maybe go for it, but I don't think so, just for consistency's sake.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's one of the riskiest tricks in the run. I mean, I think it's only really been done for runners who are near record level, and by runners who are near record level, I mean Hamster. I don't even know if Lazer knows it, because it is that difficult of a trick. But we can kind of follow Mega as Mega is making his way through this section. He just performed what's known as Statue Skip, which is a small little trick with the flail to be able to get around this first statue. Only saves a couple of seconds if you hit it first try, but any time save is a good time save to have, especially when you're running at this kind of level. We'll see all 3 of them get it first try, which is very impressive. But yeah, a lot of this room is very micro optimizations. And I believe we'll see Mega doing a camera pan skip at the very end of this room, which will be to fall off the edge here with Bilbo at the precise right time, so that Bilbo's in this respawning animation when this camera pan starts. And what that does is, for some reason, that will skip the next camera pan. I think there's some kind of check based on position or something as to whether this camera pan should start. But we'll see it here that the camera doesn't move and Mega's able to move straight away. Otherwise, Mega would be locked into like a 4-second animation or so. Mega then goes for Chandelier Skip here, which can be a little bit finicky. Looks like it's not playing ball just yet. There we go. That little hop over the Chandelier doesn't look like it saves that much time, but again, I think it's a 5-6 second time save, so it's definitely worth going for. Looks like Jack got it, and Lazer's just getting it now as well. So it's looking very close.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think our little game ends here.
Now we have the final little section for Mega until he gets into the so-called unskippable cutscene. This one is special because it is coded differently than any cutscene in any LEGO game, and also in this game, because we have the cheat code no-cut 5 enabled, which allows us to skip cutscenes, which is better for most of the runs, because we can pour more attempts in and not always watch the same lengthy cutscenes. But this cutscene is coded differently, so we are not able to actually skip it, which is a bit strange, but it's also kind of cool to have some breathing room before the final few launches of the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a strange one, this, because obviously the first 20 minutes of the run are quite intense, and then you have this kind of small pause, this small break, which is a little bit weird, and then you get thrown into what are 3 of potentially the most annoying launches, certainly the most rage-baiting launches if they don't work, to finish the run off. But yeah, we'll see how our runners are able to cope with that. Obviously, Mega is in the lead going into them, with, I believe, Jack slightly behind and Lazer just a little bit behind that, but it's really anyone's game at this point.
You have grown slow and fat in your dotage, slug.
Mega did lose some time in the first room, but we also kind of have to account a bit for stream delay, because I'm pretty sure Mega started a bit later than the other runners, but we will see.
Yeah, Mega gets the launch first try. Jack unfortunately misses, so it's definitely advantage Mega at the moment. And we'll see here, this is the second of the 3 launches, which is known as Loz launch. And the hardest part about this really is getting the buddy up, and then you've got a timer jump input. Make sure you get over this next bit. Jack is really struggling with this first launch, and Mega misses Loz launch. So Lazer has potential to be basically back even now, I'd say. And Lazer gets Loz launch first try, so yeah, this is looking like advantage Lazer. Mega's got to do this really annoying backup, which the game loves to give you a vertical buddy up here, rather than a horizontal, which can be really annoying. There isn't really a good way of doing anything other than this, though, from this position, because you can't climb the tower, because we've essentially sequence broke, and we're here with characters we shouldn't be here with. So you're forced into doing some kind of launch to get up to the top of this tower, by committing to the first launch. We'll see Jack give it a go here. Jack also, interestingly, not even bothering with Loz launch, and doing a completely different setup to get this second launch here, and is able to catch up a lot of time there.
But I don't know if that catching up will be enough, because he lost so much time on that first launch. It is really crazy. He didn't get it for over half a minute, probably more. But maybe, who knows, someone cracks under the nerves on Jack launch, which will be the final launch of this game, which we'll see on Lazer's side now.
Yes, final launch, and one of the hardest launches to end things off. We're going to see Lazer, you have to do a very precise setup here, moving all the debris out the way, and then making sure your player 1 kind of gets forced into this spin animation. We've got a bit of lag there, but Lazer definitely got it. Yeah, there we go. And we'll be finishing off this run. We'll get the final time in a second. Meanwhile, we can see Mega going for it, and also gets it near first try as well. So, yeah. And Jack as well, going forwards into this final thing. And we'll see what the final times are. I'm trying to get them on screen right now. As Jack hits the final Jack launch, named after Jack himself.
Famously discovered quite a bit ago, actually.
Yeah, a decent bit ago. Okay, the times are not showing on screen, but I can say that Lazer got a... Actually, is it going to work if I refresh? No, it isn't. Okay. Lazer got a 25:05 first run. Mega got a 25:24 first run. And Jack got a 26:37 first run. So 3 points go to Lazer for this race. And yeah, 1 point to Mega and 0 points to Jack. And yeah, we'll get set up for the next race. There we go, 3 points to Lazer, 1 point to Mega. And yeah, GG's to all runners for that first race. All the splits are reset, which is good. And looks like we're just waiting for Lazer to get onto the title screen, and then we can start the second one. Looks like Lazer's sorting out P1 keybinds, which makes sense after Jack launch, because I believe Lazer does Jack launch on P2. But yeah, if all runners could get to the point where they could skip a cutscene, Jack has the long cutscene, the other two have shorter cutscenes, so yeah. If everyone can get to the point that they can skip and then alt tab.
My dear Frodo, you asked me once if
Okay, looks like Jack is loading up something, not sure what. But Jack will be on his way in a second. Looks like Jack is at the point where we can skip, so we'll get this run going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck again to all runners.
I had told you
We'll just wait for them to get started.
Adventures. It began.
Looks like again Lazer will have a bit of a start advantage, but that's fine because we go by the timer anyway, so that's not a problem. And Jack will be a little bit further behind, but again, not a problem on that either. And yeah, Detra, if you were either of these runners right now, or any of these runners, what are your thoughts going into the second race?
Let's pretend I'm Lazer right now. I missed the river skip in LFP so much, but somehow I still got first place. So I'm feeling good, but also a bit worried that that might happen again. But I'm confident that I can finish this off. For Mega, he was having a pretty okay run, I'd say. Actually pretty good for his level. And also for the consistency of a race, definitely a good time to achieve. So he can definitely keep going and get another good time, I'd say. And Jack is a bit of a bad case right now. He has missed the first launch in II so many times. He has lost, I'd say, 40 seconds or more. So that will definitely play into his mental game. Maybe he will go a bit risk here, but I think first he has to calm himself down right now.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think, I mean, yeah, Lazer is in a strong position now. One more win for Lazer, and Lazer's guaranteed to be... yeah, one more win for Lazer, and Lazer's guaranteed to move up to the top rung, to rung 1. Mega kind of needs another win, or another second place and then a win to guarantee it, but depending on other permutations could get through there. Jack's not quite in a must-win situation, but I think either Jack needs to win here, or Lazer wins and Jack takes second. I think that's kind of the permutations we're looking at here to see what happens. I mean, it's worth mentioning for the permutations going forwards into next week, the top 2 for this match will make their way into the top bracket for next week, which means they'll be potentially, or they'll be in with a shot of qualifying for the top 8 next week. That's kind of where all the runners are placed right now. We'll see, yeah, we'll see how it holds out. It's quite brutal for whoever is last in this race, though, because if you're last in this race, you will end up going into Rung 3 for next week, which is the bottom rung, so you'll be in an elimination match. So you definitely want to make sure that you're, you know, trying to stay in the top 2 for this race, and the pressure's definitely on Jack, and also a little bit on Mega here. We'll see Lazer go for barrier skip. Everyone made gem skip. So Lazer failing barrier skip. Okay, first big mistake. And Mega gets it. So Mega will pull out a lead. And then we'll see how Jack manages it. Jack gets it as well. So not a great start for Lazer. Lazer does know the backup, which is good, but definitely will be behind. Probably behind both of these runners for his first bit. And looks like Jack's still slightly behind on stream, but Jack did start a few seconds later than Lazer.
Missing barrier skip is something that just can happen, also to me and I think other runners as well. It's just something that happens, although you think barrier skip is so easy, it can still just happen that you get stuck under the collision and cannot get on top anymore. But the backup does save definitely some time over the casual strat, but it is still a big time loss if you don't make barrier skip. But we can see now Jack going for gold jumps as Lazer makes it through. And no mistakes there.
Yeah, no, pretty solid from Mega, definitely. And Jack seemed to have a decent Greatest Kingdom, although I think Jack and Lazer might be quite even leaving this split. Mega should definitely be in the lead, but I'm not sure how the others will be. Looks like Mega got a 532 exit, which is very, very good going, in all honesty. I'm not sure what Mega's gold is there, but that can't be too far off. Looks like it's, yeah, about 5 seconds off Mega's gold, which is pretty good for a race scenario. And yeah, Lazer and Jack pretty even, but Mega has definitely pulled out a, what's that, 17-second lead over Lazer and a 20-second lead over Jack. So not too bad for Mega. Clean bush launch as well from Mega. Hopefully the hovers across the river will work. A bit of an interesting angle to get the hovers across the river, but still manages to get a 3 hover, which is always a good sign. Lazer having some trouble with bush launch though. Gets its second try. And Jack also gets its second try, although a much quicker second try than Lazer. As we go across this bit here, we'll be able to see, I don't know, I mean, we can visualize the lead from Mega. Mega's kind of up just beyond the rocks in the distance for both Lazer and Jack. Looking at it in real time, Lazer and Jack are pretty near tied. Lazer with a small advantage, but really not that much at all. Meanwhile, Mega will be going for the hovers here. I'm kind of assuming Mega will go for an 8 hover out of safety here. Basically, we haven't actually described how these hovers work at all. If you attack in this game in a buddied up state, and then drop all inputs, drop all directional inputs on your player, then they will be able to fly indefinitely in this buddy up state. You can adjust the direction if you want, but you can't do it while the attack animation is starting or ending. So you kind of have to just flick the controller while they're mid-spin. And that allows us to break a lot of this stuff wide open. Mega, meanwhile, with a very clean sign launch and a good LFP as well. That was a fantastic LFP inside. Mega claimed the CG for that yesterday, I believe, and yeah, that definitely looked incredibly clean. Lazer hasn't got rid of the gremlins from sign launch by the looks of it. Yeah, still struggling with it, and that's going to allow Jack to have the advantage over Lazer. But Mega's on a phenomenal run right now. I will say 829 looking for proof exit is insanely good. I can't remember how far off that from my PB that is, but I think this is potentially a 23 pace start from Mega. Like, you could get this start and be on a 23 pace run.
Also, compared to last run we've had, most runners are over like 40. Whoa.
What happened
What
with
happened
Lazer?
on Lazer's part?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is that a crash?
I did not see that. Wow. I think so, though. If he crashed, that would be really bad.
Looks like it. Quickly entering no cut, which is smart, but that's a lot of time loss for Lazer, because Lazer's all the way over here. In Greatest... not in Greatest Kingdom, but in Hobbiton, and has to redo all the movement to go over to... looking for proof again, which is incredibly unfortunate. Also needs to remember to turn VSync on. Unfortunately with this game, every time you reset, VSync comes back on. But Lazer doing the right thing and making sure to not gain an advantage from it. Which is very good of Lazer. I think Lazer splits have gone, but I think that's because he unsplit or delete or... yeah, unsplit for GKME, so they should be back after looking for proof. Yeah. Meanwhile, I completely missed it, but Mega got birdless. And we'll probably see Jack go for it as well.
So, what will happen to Lazer now, since he doesn't have any splits? Will he just not get any points for this run, or do we have to time something?
His time is still going, so he unsplit for Greatest Kingdom, and then skipped split again. So after looking for proof, he should be back on split, so that should be fine.
Nice.
But yeah, Mega in the Azog boss fight, I'm trying to estimate how much of a lead Mega has right now, and I think it's... I mean, it was already a minute over Jack leaving looking for proof, and I think this is still just as dominant, really, for Mega. I mean, we'll see if Jack gets birdless. It looks like he has, as long as he falls down in the right spot. She nearly falls down in bounds, but just about recovers it. But yeah, we'll see Jack struggling a little bit as well with his 1P2C. It can be a little bit finicky. Lazer, meanwhile, is reattempting sign launch. And if you're Lazer right now, what are you thinking?
You're quite pissed. I mean, maybe he hasn't even gotten a crash like that. I've definitely never seen it crash while entering this door, but this time it does work. Maybe it was some gizmo loop thing, or we don't really know, but a crash there is just not great. But if you're a Lazer, you're just thinking, yeah, okay, I will probably get no No points on this run, but I think I can get points on the next one, so I can qualify for the top run. I mean, Lazer only has to get second in total, and since he does already have a 3-point lead on, let's say, Jack, which is right now a bit behind Mega, because Mega is already in the middle of the boss fight, and Jack is still even before the auto scroller. So if you're a Lazer, you're just thinking, okay, I just have to finish this run, and then next run I will get the points to qualify.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see from Lazer, obviously, the lead between Mega to Lazer is now 4 minutes, which is not as bad as it could have been, in all honesty. It's only 3 minutes to Jack as well, and Jack has certainly seemed to have some struggle in the Necromancer so far, because this is not a 3-minute deficit between Lazer and Jack that we're seeing on screen right now. So there's still the possibility that Lazer can sneak a point off of Jack. I don't want to say, you know, it's a foregone conclusion that Mega's going to win this, because it really isn't, with everything that comes up in this kind of next few phases of stuff. And we've seen Mega had a little bit of inconsistency on stuff like Laws launch and then the backup, and although On the Doorstep was pretty decent for Mega, there was still, you know, room for error, room for improvement. So it's not a foregone conclusion by any stretch of the imagination yet. But yeah, Mega is over a whole phase ahead of Jack in the Necromancer boss fight, which I can't remember what that translates to in time, but I think it's a minute, probably minute 15, minute 20 maybe. Lazer manages to get birdless, so we'll hopefully be trying to eat into that lead with Jack.
Mega will be finishing Necromancer really soon. This is the last statue that he has to build. And after that, if he collects any studs, he will just get rid of it. He does collect some on player 1, but I think he can just jump off the cliff and end the level with 0 studs, which is a nice time save there from Mega.
Yeah, absolutely. Mega going for Icicle launch now. 15-12 Necromancer exit is very good. Yeah, this is a very strong run from Mega to keeping it hopefully together. Yeah, only plus 10 seconds to golds right now by the looks of it. So, very strong going right now. And we'll see how this OTD goes. Yeah, Mega is, I think if I saw that correctly, minus 23 to PB. So we're definitely on PB watch here. Good fast OTD. That's, ooh, a little bit. Oh no, that was an intentional switch. It's an interesting method of doing it. I haven't seen that one before. But yeah, Mega has kind of developed an individual setup for fast on OTD, which works very well for him. So, you know, don't knock it until you try it. But yeah, it's going to be able to be jumping up here. And then Statue Launch struggled with last time, and it looks like some of the same gremlins might be out. Third try is okay. And you see this final room as well with this kind of new pickup launch strat. Doesn't quite get the height that first time, but gets more than enough second time, and is getting 0 studs as well this time. Yeah, this is a very accomplished run from Mega so far. Genuine PB pacer. And by the looks of it, from the exit of the Necromancer, it's about a minute 40 lead over Jack that Mega has right now.
Jack is not playing around on fast OTD, he does get it first try. In comparison to his Icicle launch, which he did not do first try. And he does leave his player 2 behind, so he will not be going for statue launch. Instead going for the normal strat by just destroying this rock behind here and then pushing the rock to the side to jump up. Which does lose a bit of time compared to, of course, the statue launch. But if you don't get the pickup right, like 2 or 3 or even more times, maybe you're just thinking, I'm gonna not do a statue launch, you know. The casual strat doesn't lose that much time.
Yeah, I think in that place, the way Mega did it probably broke even with Jack just doing the backup, so potentially a smart call from Jack, but does need to try and eat into some of that time gain from Mega. Yeah, Mega's on a phenomenal run right now. We'll watch and see kind of how the rest of this is concluded. Jack's struggling with this end bit of on the doorstep. Looks like maybe holding slightly the wrong angle when just running into this bit of collision. What he's looking to do is run into this collision and spin, yeah, so that he can get up to the upper level. Didn't quite get it successfully, and that's certainly reopened the door for Lazer a little bit. I mean, Lazer put almost a minute into Jack's lead in the Necromancer, so we'll see if Lazer can catch up again and on the doorstep. Second try Icicle launch is suggesting maybe. But Mega, meanwhile, going for Chandelier Skip. This was another one of Mega's kind of gremlin tricks in the previous run. And that looks to have been resolved. That was a second try Chandelier Skip. Which is not too bad at all. I'd say that's about average for that trick. Lazer struggling with fast OTD. That's kind of unfortunate. And yeah, Mega not going for Toast Slide either. Despite the fact it's named after Mega's co-op partner, it does not look very race friendly, I'll be honest. But that is a super good run into the unskippable cutscene from Mega. I'm not sure what the full time is, but significantly far ahead of opponents in this one. Insane consistency. Lazer, of course, had the crash a bit earlier, which is, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things, but hopefully that will be a little bit resolved. Or hopefully that won't come back to bite him in the second run as well, or third run, sorry, of this match as well.
We're losing the light. Come on.
So Mega is right now on a pretty good pace, also to tie his gold of a 620 in II. So in theory he could save another 32 seconds to his PB, or even more if he does gold. But I mean, we truly never know with these launches. I mean, we saw Jack being stuck on the first launch for, I'd say, 45 seconds, and also, was it Mega who failed to get the second launch quite a long time?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and Lazer got it. Lazer got Loz launch first try, and Jack got the Jack setup for the second launch first try. I don't know the specifics of Jack's setup, but yeah, they both got it first try, whereas Mega struggled with it. So I feel like that might be a bit of a make or break for Mega on PB pace. But yeah, if Mega does tie that 620 gold, then that puts him at a 23:38, which is an insane time if true. We'll see if it happens here. But obviously Mega's PB right now is currently 24:48, so any time's a good time really at this point. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's Loz launch. but really high. There's an insane amount of height to be gathered there. Manages to land on the podium still, which is great. You can like accidentally fall out of bounds if you go too far there. But Mega's had a bit of experience with that clearly, and is, yeah, pretty close to finishing out this run. I don't think this has been fully gold pace, this split in particular, but it still might come out to be a 23.
Do you think flattery will keep you alive? No, no. No, indeed.
Jack, meanwhile, has entered the unskippable cutscene, and Lazer, I believe, is still quite far behind. Getting closer, but quite far behind. It's difficult to tell with Lazer stream because it looks like there's a bit of technical difficulty there.
Where do you come from? May I ask?
I come from under the hill. And under hills and over hills, my path is led. And
Yeah, it
We
seems
can see
I am he.
we can see Jack now going for these cycles on the bomb throws, which is just timing wise a bit hard, but you just try to throw the bombs as soon as possible to hit him enough times. I mean Smaug hit him, but now we will get into Jack launch, the final launch, and hopefully he will get it.
And where are they hiding? May I?
You've got that all wrong.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, no, no.
gets it relatively cleanly, yeah.
I think our little game ends here.
And we'll finish off with a final time of, okay, the on-screen display is not working, but I can say that that final time was 24:13 from Mega, which is absolutely insane. That is a 35-second PB in a race. Phenomenal work from Mega there. Yeah, huge PB.
My teeth are swords. My claws are
Yeah, very, very good work from Mega, and of course that means that Mega will be at the very worst tying in points with Lazer, but Lazer's still got some work to do to try and get to second place here.
You have no equal on this earth. The Arkenstone.
Did you find it? The plan's not gonna work. These furnaces
So yeah, Jack is just finishing off this little bit here. We'll be throwing the torches at Smaug, and then we'll be going for Jack launch. And
you so easily outwitted.
that doesn't mean run over yet, not by any stretch of the imagination. So that's just kind of the gauntlet that Jack launch can be sometimes.
Jack is playing it really safe on these cycles, not really going early at, always waiting for the bomb to hit Smaug first before throwing the next one, which you don't have to do, you can throw a bit earlier than that.
Yeah, going for Jack launch here. And it looks like there's some pieces in the way, in all honesty. I don't think this is the best setup from Jack, which could potentially allow Lazer to come back a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit difficult to tell with Lazer stream, but we will see. Yeah, there's a lot of jumping around on Lazer stream. Jack is just really struggling with Jack launch right now. Gets it eventually. And by the looks of that, will take second place in this match. And yeah.
Okay, I can say that Jack got a time of 27:19.
27:19. Okay. That puts, yeah, that should probably be second place. Yep. By the looks of it, it is, because, well, Lazer is just finishing off his run, but it has passed 27:19 right now. So, yeah, that means Jack takes second in that match. Mega with the win and the huge PB. And yeah, we can see Lazer just finishing off there. Okay, yep. So we're going to have a very small break here while we try and resolve the issues with Lazer's internet. It should just be a small break, and hopefully we can get it cleaner for this final race. We will see, but also need to update the points. Stop the timer now. So Mega with the win there takes 4 points, and Jack is up to 1 point. Okay, how is Laser's internet doing? That is the question. I need to get it back on the stream. It looks to be back, at least, but I don't know how much better it is. It looks to be cleaner. Right, okay, if that's the case then, let's get going with the final match in this race. If all the runners want to make their way to the title screen, yeah, same thing as always, get to the point where they can skip the cutscene and then alt-tab and we'll do the countdown.
My dear Frodo, you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. It began long ago, in a land far away to the east.
Right.
There was
Okay.
the city of Dale,
Looks like
peaceful.
yeah, I think all the runners are at a point where they are able to skip the cutscene, so we will get this third and final match going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Best of luck to all runners. And I'd imagine once again we'll see the same kind of trait with Lazer starting a little bit earlier, followed by Mega and Jack. So Lazer's going now. And we can start the time.
King under the mountain, mightiest of the dwarves.
And Jack should be a little bit behind.
Lion lay secure
Be there
in the
eventually.
lives of his son in the mountain itself.
Yep, there we go.
Grandson. Fortress city was legend. All pay homage.
Okay, so
Even the great
gonna ask the same question to you again, Detra. You're in the position of these runners right now. What's your thinking going into this final race? How are you gonna play it?
For Laser, I'd say pretty much the exact same thing as last time. Maybe just he has right now a bit of a morale down, let's say, because of that crash that happened at probably the worst time of the run. Because right at the end of the hop movement, you're almost ending split, and crashing right there just lost so much time that he could not catch up to Jack again. Mega is in a really good position. Mega is probably thinking, yeah, I should just get second, I'll try to, or if I'm lucky, Jack does not get first, and I will be good with my 4 points. And Jack really has to do something in this run. He cannot stay like this with just 1 point. That just won't work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, looking at the permutations for who gets top 2 and who gets eliminated, or not eliminated, but who goes down to rung 3. Mega is in a relatively safe position right now, because Mega has not only 4 points, but also the fastest time recorded with that 24:13. Basically, what would have to happen for Mega to be eliminated right now is for Jack to win, Lazer to come second, and both of them to beat a 24:13 time, which for Jack would be a 28-second PB, I think. So yeah, that's advantage for Mega there. Lazer seems to be having troubles and has just missed gem skip as well, which is very not good. So Lazer is immediately going into this with a minute 30 of deficit, roughly. This is also not a room that runners will tend to practice much, because obviously, if you miss a gem skip in a run, you're just going to reset. Like, Jack's stream is down for a second, but get that up. There we go. So yeah, Jack is going to be struggling a little bit. I was also struggling with building there as we just switched on to him. But he's kind of got one thing out of the way, and that he's going to have a lead pulled out to Lazer, which is always a good sign. But yeah, Mega, meanwhile, again, looks like, yeah, it's going to be pulling out a lead here. We'll see how this barrier skip goes. Looks like Mega got barrier skip, and Jack got it as well. But you can see how damaging it is for Lazer having missed gem skip there. It's a big one try to be missing, and it's not like Lazer is safe here either. Because if Jack wins this, then Lazer will be leapfrogged on points, and all of a sudden Lazer will be in rung 3, and that's pretty dangerous and would honestly be quite an upset if that were to happen. That is, of course, if Mega wins, or if Mega then comes second. So Jack is really in a win and in situation here. There's no other way through for Jack but to win, which probably means we'll see more risky strats come out. Mega is doing gold jumps here and looks to have got them cleanly. Jack will be following up and also has the potential for a clean one. Does a bit of a safer setup for them to get a 2 jump across, which is both risky and not risky at the same time. It's more just an alternative way of doing it. And if you do the same amount of jumps, but like where you do the jumps is a little bit different.
Smaug. At Khan.
Mega is starting off with a pretty good GKME with a 532. That is actually a really good GKME. Jack is just a bit behind, just 9 seconds with a 541. Definitely not the end of the world. So Jack is definitely still out for that win, because if he does not win this race, he will be eliminated to, oh well, not eliminated, but pushed back to the last run of next week, which, as you all know, is the elimination run.
Yeah, but this isn't looking great for Jack already. Missing bush launch quite a few times. It was, I think, Jack's best GKME of the day with a 541. But yeah, it's not an ideal start to this LFP split. And again, Mega is just proving consistent more than anything. I mean, you can kind of visualize it. Mega's passing the trees that are just up in front of Jack right now, and that's about 10-15 seconds on our screen. Lazer, meanwhile, is obviously a decent bit further behind, but we'll be catching up.
Let's see with what time Lazer finishes Greatest Kingdom Middle-earth. So we can see the deficit. Oh, a 720. That is actually way worse than I expected. He is losing 1 minute and 40 seconds to Jack and 1 minute 50 to Mega, which is a lot. I mean, yes, we have absolutely seen most people, well, not most people, but we have seen in this race that even these elites can be broken and overtaken by Lazer, as it happened with Jack. Like, he failed a lot of times on that launch, but we will see Mega probably again going for the backup. No, he is going for the sign launch, and not anymore. He is going for the safe strat.
That's a smart heads up play for Mega there, honestly. I don't know if Mega is aware of kind of how the other two runners are doing, but obviously, you know, Mega's got that lead, and Jack goes for the hover anyway. There's, you know, the pressure's not on Mega to try and extend that lead necessarily. It's on the other runners. It's on Jack to catch up and Lazer to catch up. A little bit of a slower LFP from Mega this time around. But yeah, not too bad. All things considered, they're still going to be in the lead. Looks like, yeah, Jack's not going to be able to catch up too much on the inside, maybe a little bit. But it's another sub-9 looking for proof exit from Mega, which is phenomenal. Yeah, really good times. Good consistent times from Mega. I mean, I don't know if you caught it, Detra, but Mega's level 1, Greatest Kingdom of Middle-earth, this run compared to the last run in the race, there was only 6/10 worth of difference between them. That says a lot for consistency.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of difference at all. Last time he had a 32.3, and this time he got a, I cannot even see it. Okay, but yeah, he has the exact same time basically, so he's only maybe losing a few tenths. But he definitely is not concerned about PB right now. So we will be seeing Lazer going for the second river skip. Lazer was a bit, yeah, he lost quite some time on bush launch. Like, I'd say definitely 30 seconds. So he lost even more time there. And also lost a lot of time to gem skip, of course. And I think now he's going for sign launch again. He is. And he does make it first try this time, which is big. And we'll hope that he can catch up to his competitors again, getting the first try trigger hit as well. As we can see now, Mega is going for the launch, but he has gotten stuck in a different position, which I don't know if that will work. I don't think so. He will break it now, and he will have to go for the backup, which is not great. But if he gets it, he can still kinda be on pace to beat Jack.
Mega's not even going for the backup here.
Oh yeah, right.
He's going for the casual strat. And with that, Jack gets birdless and immediately shoots into this massive lead. It's going to be about a minute and a half, I'd say, over Lazer, and probably a similar deficit to Mega now. Mega is really going to go from the front of the pack to the back here. Just with one trick, that is what birdless does in this run, in all honesty. It also looks like Mega is not the most confident with the 1P2C, just looking at kind of how going about this. It's not the most optimal 1P2C as the backup. Not that I can remember what the most optimal one is, but I know that it's not that. It's still going to be quick enough. Quick enough to probably just barely be ahead of Lazer, but not much more.
So Jack is right now in the prime position to actually still get that second or even first place, but I don't know if he can actually beat the time that Megas put up in the last run, because that one was really, really fast. And looking at Jack's exit out of LFP, I don't think he will be beating that, but it is also not his goal to get first, but it is his goal to get second, to not get put down a Rung and maybe be in an elimination spot next week. But this is a bit of a bad position, especially for Lazer, even though he has caught up a lot compared to Jack. But Lazer will just try to at least get second place. I think he still has a faster time in this race from the first run, so he can still get second place, and not like if Jack actually gets this first place in his third run, Lazer could still get out ahead of Jack.
Yes, the permutations for that would be if Jack wins with a time faster than 25:05, then Lazer gets eliminated from this bracket, which is pretty insane. I certainly picked Lazer to be the favorite going into that, with a minute ahead of both runners' PBs at the start of this race. It's just the cards haven't fallen for Lazer, and that's how brutal this game can be sometimes, especially the difference between trying to play this game to PB and trying to play this game in a race for consistency. They're two completely different ball games, and we're seeing Mega is actually shining here with consistency on the most part. Although, obviously, had that miss in Birdless. That's been kind of Mega's one big mistake. Apart from a couple of slower launches here and there, that's really only been it. Whereas Jack and Lazer have had... Obviously, Lazer had the crash in the last run, which is just completely out of control. Out of Lazer's control. But something like missing Gem Skip, it's one of those things where if you're trying to play for consistency, you can't really be letting that happen.
Yeah, but on Mega's part, he hasn't... I'd say his birdless miss wasn't actually that fatal, like, mentally. Like, for example, Jack's missing off the first launch, or Lazer crashing, which, yeah, it wasn't in his fault or anything. But Lazer has lost a lot of time also to bush launch and to sign launch in his first two runs. But Mega missing that birdless like that isn't actually that bad because that can happen to anyone, and it does happen to everyone. You can be in, I think, like 4 different positions on top of that ruin piece, and I think 2 of those 4 work, but that one is the exact one that doesn't work. But that does happen to a lot of people, not only to him.
Yeah, it's a very easy mistake to make. But yeah, the recovery from it is not too bad. He's a whole phase behind Jack, with Lazer just a little bit more, which equates to a minute and a bit, I'd say. Yeah, it's definitely advantage Jack going into the last 2 levels, but it's certainly not the end of the world. It's the kind of thing where a bad icicle launch or a bad on the doorstep, you're still within reach. And that's always an important thing. To be just in touching distance. And we'll see that from... We'll see if Mega and Lazer can catch up, really. Jack, meanwhile... Yeah, a 16-13. Necromancer exit is, I believe, pretty much exactly plus a minute to the pace Mega was on last run. So, I think the chances of Mega's PB being beaten are pretty slim, which means Mega is pretty much a lock for... I don't want to jinx it, but pretty much a lock for these... for qualifying either first or second in this match. But I think Mega's going to want some bragging rights and to put down a bit of a statement by, you know, just getting some strong points against 2 really strong opponents. The Jack here getting fast OTD second try. And then getting the jump up. And I'm assuming with 2 players might be going for statue launch again. We didn't see this last time. But yeah, bringing both players up is generally a signal of intent to go for statue launch. Goes for it and gets it, but gets it in such a way that 0 studs is harder. I haven't seen this 1P2C for doing it, but takes a death there with Barlin to be able to get down to 0 studs. It's a very different way of doing it, but not necessarily a bad thing if it's consistent for Jack. Gets the spin so much better this time, and all of a sudden, this is becoming a very well put together run for Jack. Lazer and Mega are hovering around the kind of minute behind mark, which isn't great. But it's still within touching distance.
The company had arrived at the main gate.
Mega gets fast OTD first try with a bit of a slower setup. I'm assuming Lazer will be going for the quick setup and doesn't get it. That doesn't look good. Yeah, Lazer will be in trouble here.
Lazer's consistency on fast OTD in this entire race has been really low. Like, it seems like he's just getting the timing really good, but he isn't getting the body up every single time. Like, not at all. He's missed those a lot in this run, but still, he does get the launch up at least, because he has the timing down really good of that jump input. But the character management also to get the characters into position to actually get the body up, he has been struggling with that quite a bit now. And Mega is now finishing off OTD, and we'll see what his exit is compared to mostly Lazer, but also, of course, to Jack.
Come on.
I don't know if you caught it from Lazer, but Lazer almost had a complete meltdown on the grab bars that you use to be able to get up to the end of the first room of OTD. In fact, taking a death there while trying to traverse those grab bars, I think that's not a very good sign from Lazer. Lazer really needs to get second place here to at least put some pressure on Jack to beat that kind of 25:05 benchmark, which is necessary for getting the fastest time and winning and getting through in second place in this qualifier, but the cards aren't falling for Lazer right now. And yeah, ended up 30 seconds behind Mega. He's got to make up that difference. And then it's another 50 seconds up the road to Jack. Jack is certainly in a prime position. Gets a launch there as well. That was a very interesting launch because it started the animation for hitting the axe plate and then launched Jack, which is a very strange one. But Jack gets a very clean chandelier skip, and by the looks of it, we'll be taking a healthy lead into the unskippable cutscene.
And so we can also now see Lazer coming into this first room, going for the statue skip now, and does get it first try. Mega is now setting up for the camera pan skip in the next little section of his room, again by rolling into a not actually that precise spot, dying right there, and that should skip the camera pan after this little section with Smaug. Lazer also getting into position to do the exact same thing. We'll be seeing if Mega got it, and he did. Very nice.
Hills and over hills my path is led. And through the air, I am he who walks unseen. I am
Yeah, Mega is
riddle maker.
doing decently well to keep the pressure on Jack, but Jack has definitely a convincing lead. I think we can go over the permutations for making it through to Rung 1 next week. For Mega, it is either getting first or second in this race, or Jack and Lazer, neither of them managed to beat Mega's 24-13 time. So it looks like Mega will be qualified for that Rung 1. Jack's permutations is he needs to win, and he either needs Lazer to get last, or he needs to win beating a 25:05 time to be able to eliminate Lazer through that method if Lazer gets second. Lazer needs to get second or first and pray that Jack doesn't beat the 25:05 time. So there's kind of permutations for each runner to qualify here, and of course the top two will go through to that week 2 Rung 1 match. The bottom one will go down to week 2 Rung 3, so it's very brutal. And we see Jack starting off with these launches is struggling a little bit. Yeah, getting the buddy up on this launch can be a little bit annoying. It looks like he gets it eventually. Not great start from Jack.
Definitely, again, losing a lot of time. Probably not as much as when he lost, I think, like 40 seconds on that one. But we will be seeing his setup for this second launch. Very nice.
Okay,
he
that
gets
was
it
clean.
very quickly.
I gotta respect that. It's been a long time since I've seen that particular version of a spin launch attempted. That was very clean from Jack.
These furnaces are stone cold.
We've no fire hot enough to set them ablaze.
Have we not?
As we go through now, we're going to see Mega's going to be the next one to attempt the first 2 launches, while Jack's doing this kind of small bit of 1p2c, which we haven't spoken about at all because it's pretty simple 1p2c in all honesty. We'll see Mega go for this here, see if he can get the buddy up better than Jack did. Gets it very nicely there. And we'll see, Mega does go for Loz launch as well, so we'll see how that goes. Just about gets the height. Yeah, that was nice from Mega. Lazer's only 1 launch behind though. Meanwhile, Jack will be heading into Jack launch, and we have to keep an eye on the final time here. Yeah, obviously we are timing load remove time, so anything like the main timer we have on the splits might not necessarily always be accurate. But we'll see it here. Looks like Jack's struggling with Jack launch a bit. Meanwhile, Lazer's struggling with Lazer launch.
And Lazer doesn't even get lost launch, so he has to go for the backup now. Maybe Mega has built up enough of a lead for that to be the final nail in the coffin for Lazer. But we never know because Jack is still going on Jack launch and he still hasn't gotten the body up a single time.
Finally gets
Just get
it.
it now.
That was
Also Lazer getting the backup. And now Mega into Jack launch. Let's see if he does get it. Short on height right there, but that doesn't matter. I think he has enough of a lead for that not to matter. And he does get it on second try, which
second try.
ends his run.
Yeah, GG's to Mega. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm seeing this right now. I think Mega has actually beaten Jack by just 4 seconds.
I need to double check that, but that would be very close if that's the case. Obviously, Lazer is getting no points from this this particular race because of the missed gem skip. Just hasn't been able to catch that back up. But yeah, looking at the times I can see right now, Jack with a 26:02 and Mega with a 25:58. I'm not entirely sure about that.
I'm also a bit skeptical, but that can definitely be because Jack lost so much time. Which is really unfortunate for him, because if that's correct, he will only be getting 1 point, which is not enough to qualify for the next round. Which is...
Yeah. I think Jack is just coming in the chat and saying that it was a 25:28. Yes, and I can see it on his splits as well. Jack did get a 25:28 RTA. Oh, sorry, load remove time. So Jack does indeed take that second qualifying spot.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, a bit of an issue with the timings we could see, but that's absolutely fine. What that means for the points, if I adjust them quickly, we can stop the timer. What that means for the results is Mega will be, Jack will have 4 points, Mega will have 5 points, and Lazer will have 3, meaning that Mega and Jack are the ones that progress through to the Rung 1 in week 2. And Lazer, meanwhile, will be going down to Rung 3 in week 2, which is very unfortunate for Lazer, but that crash in the middle race was nail in the coffin for Lazer, unfortunately, and missing gem skip in this run as well. But yeah, GG's to all the runners. Yeah, very, very close match. Great to see how close that match was. Yeah, there were so many potential permutations for that kind of going through. So yeah, not too bad either way. Any words from you, Dedra, about that match?
We saw it was very close between some of these runners, but at the end it just wasn't really coming out perfectly for Lazer. If Jack would have lost just more time, which would have been very, very bad for him, because if Mega would have beaten Jack, then Lazer would have actually come through and get to the first rung of next week, but that did not happen, and Jack got first in this rung. So he will be going to the first Rung next week. And Lazer's just a huge upset, which is unfortunate, of course, because of the launch. But also missing Gem Skip just kind of gave him the final nail in the coffin and puts him into the elimination rung of next week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely a surprise upset. I had Lazer, I can say this now, I had Lazer predicted to win all 3 matches and get a full 9 points from here, so I guess I know nothing about predictions. I'll try and get better for next week, but hey, that's how it goes. Anyway, moving on to the matches we have coming up now. We have 2 more matches which are absolutely confirmed scheduled for this week. We have in 2 days' time, on Thursday, we have Hamster against myself against Loyalist. That is our Rung 1 match. So the top 2 from that match will qualify for the final, or for the top 8 bracket. So there's a lot on the line for that one. The 3rd place in that match will be going down to Rung 2 for next week. And then on Saturday, I believe, another early one, a little bit less early this time for the American viewers, but 9:30 a.m. EST, we have Dedtra, who's on comms with me right now, against Origin and against Nolan. Nolan, of course, being our final qualifier to come through. So it'll be interesting to see how Nolan can fare in that match. But yeah, that is it from us on our side of things. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Next time for that match against myself, Hamster, and Loyalist. But yeah, until then, bye.